What is going on?
Hello.
Wade Concept individuals, how are we? We're a little bit behind. If the stream does not hold up,
It's because I have crap for Wi-Fi.
our Wi-Fi is struggling. Look at that, 32% usage. Yikes. Anyway, what's going on, YouTube land? This is obviously the Wade Concept with a special guest this weekend.
Yay!
Kelsey's in the building.
Hello.
As you can see, not ideal conditions for the mic game, but we are we're making it work.
Travel. It had to travel.
It had to travel. But we're making it work. I'm visiting Kelsey at her house, and so Wade Concept on the road.
Yep.
You know, we're doing it big, doing it live, and we're gonna see how it holds up. If it doesn't hold up,
Sorry.
we'll get back to you guys on the weekend. But for now, we're just gonna roll with it. Obviously, last time we were with you guys, or I was with you guys, we were gonna talk about UFC Fight Night London coming up, and that's tomorrow. And I wanted to get this out. We've been doing a lot, just to let you know a little bit about the trip. You want to tell them about the trip a little bit?
No, you tell them.
Okay, we got a shy one today.
I picked him up, and then
I have my own mic, but thank you. We went to, where did we go? We came home, and then we hung out for a little bit. Then we went to New York, so that was fun. We got to travel. We got to see various landmarks. We got yelled at.
I got yelled at. I literally got yelled at by.
We got yelled at by the same guy we saw yell at other New Yorkers the day before. Oddly enough, in a big city like that, but we got yelled at.
What else? We had too much pizza.
We had way too much pizza.
Literally.
Sicilian pizza was my favorite. This one, of course, cliche, went with the New York slice, as they say.
It was quite tasty.
We stayed in the Hotel Pennsylvania, which when you look at it online looks like
like the most magical, nicest hotel
pristine
ever.
In all cases.
We basically stayed in like what Harry Potter stayed in.
It ended up being
stairs.
Hotel Transylvania after
so
a little
bad.
bit, so it was rough. Jay's in the chat. Jay, what's going on, brother? Yeah, Wade Concept on the road, doing it big. But anyway, we got to our hotel. We saw Times Square, the first part of Central Park, which was really cool. We went to, we saw Gracie Jiu-Jitsu in New York, the actual Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy, which was really cool. Some guy was letting the freaking pads have it in some Muay Thai class.
He did.
Monster. I don't know what that guy's name was, but sign him, UFC.
Yeah, he was so tall, too.
Yeah, dude, light heavyweight champ. But no, we did that. Shogun, what's going on?
What up?
Our stream's starting to... And guys, if the stream starts to go a little whack, let me know, but we're doing our best.
Tristan's
in the chat. But yeah, we walked around. We got to experience some cool stuff. So we took in all of the New York... Gerald, what's going on? We got to do all the cool New York stuff, but now we're back, and let's talk some UFC stuff. So we have UFC Fight Night London coming out, and as you guys can see, I have Wade's picks ready to go. And we're gonna run through it really quick. It's gonna be a little bit of a shorter. I spelled fight wrong. Oh Jesus, did I spell it wrong in the title? Fight.
Oopsies. It's fight.
We will get it fixed.
Wade has dyslexia.
I suffer from bad fight. I've suffered from bad writing, speaking, translating, spelling.
Everything. Anyways, let's get to it.
Okay. Freestyler, what's going on? But appreciate the shout out. So we have UFC Fight Night London coming, and our main card we're going to go ahead and pick just to start off the show, just because, again, a little bit of a shorter, cramped week for you guys. I apologize. Just a lot of doing stuff with her and being here with her and, you know, trying to focus on having a good time while I'm here, but also get you guys the content you deserve to have. So, with all that said, we'll get right into our picks. Now, Kelsey obviously did not get to pick this week.
No, but I'm opposite of you because I always win no matter what you choose.
Okay.
I literally win every time.
Coming out of the gate very, very cocky, as always. But it seems to be these last couple of events, Team Wade has snatched victory from the jaws of defeat.
If I remember correctly, I won last week.
No, I won 3-2. Ask them. Chat, who won the last Wade's picks?
Chat, if you don't say me, you're in trouble.
No,
yeah.
don't play that. Anyway, yeah, I saw Verdum on the chair. What Tristan's referring to at the weigh-ins for UFC Fight Night in London, Fabricio Verdum took a chair that was on stage and acted like he was going to hit Alexander Volkov with it. And then, because Alexander Volkov's a tall guy, then stood on the chair and looked over him as he was just jokey thing. But it was kind of funny. But for the actual fight picks, we're going to start off with Leon Edwards versus Peter Sabata. Two guys that, again, are really breaking into that 170 division. And when I say breaking in, they're so far back in the totem pole. And we're going to talk about a guy at 170 in a little bit who is really coming up. And you guys have saw it, and I'm sure seen it in the title with talking about Darren Till. And he finally has a fight. And I'm sure you guys heard the news just like I did. But you guys know I'm on the bandwagon of Darren Till right now. I'm a huge, huge fan. So we're going to talk about it. But in this fight, both guys fairly on the outskirts of 170. No one really knows about him. The only reason I know about Leon Edwards is because of Ariel Helwani's show this week, the MMA Hour, and some of his story. Strictly based on, Edwards trains at a gym next to your house. Jay.
Dang, that's pretty cool.
Give us the inside scoop, man. What's this guy's, what's this guy's strengths, his weaknesses in the cage? From what I've seen, he's a decision master. Wins a lot of fights by decision, but wins a lot of fights. When you win a lot of fights by decision, it usually means you're pretty well-rounded. Usually means you don't have a lot of weaknesses, but at the same time, you're not jumping off the page as far as power and any kind of knockout power or anything like that. Sabata's second round. Okay. See, I don't know a lot about either of these guys, but I'm going to go with my pick just by looking at the where's Kelsey's glasses? That's actually we'll get to that. That's actually a funny story.
I broke them.
Kelsey is quite the klutz.
I broke them.
But my pick for this fight, again, not knowing either guy very well, Jay with the inside scoop might be able to help us out. But I'm going to go with his boy Leon. I'm going to go with Leon Edwards. Again, a guy that wins a lot of fights by decision does mean he has great cardio. Does mean he's obviously can control the fight in certain instances. Doesn't get knocked out. Doesn't get wavered. Doesn't gas. And just by his record alone and looking at some of the fights he's had and some of the wins he has, I like his chances. Again, 170 is a really, really deep division. For either of these guys to move up into that top 10 range, it's going to take, a stack of victories over and over in spectacular fashion, too, because you got young guys, hungry guys coming through there. So either guy, it's going to be a challenge to get into that top 10, but we'll go with Leon Edwards for that fight. A fight, again, that doesn't really jump off the page for me, but, I'm interested in. He was just saying what's going on. He's got a chin. I would expect so. If you're winning a lot of fights by decision and you're winning a lot of fights in general, you're going to take some big shots, and not to say that he can't give them back. I'm sure he's got his own power behind punches, and he's got great technique, but at the same time, I haven't seen a lot of him. And from what I do see on paper, looks like a solid fighter. So I'll go with Leon Edwards there. We will move on to the next. Oh, let's talk about your glasses really quick. So what happened with your glasses?
Well, I broke the little nose piece thing, right?
Okay.
And I was on the bus at school, and I was trying to fix them with super glue, and I spilled super glue all over them, and it broke completely.
When she says on the bus at school, Kelsey's not in high school, guys. Okay?
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Just so I don't look like
I have
a
to take a bus to my classes
to her
at the
adult
university.
college.
It's at a university.
Because again, Sam in the chat. That's always helpful.
Loser.
Appreciate the support, Sam. Thank you.
I think he's talking about himself in Fortnite.
Ooh, whoa!
I think he's talking about that.
Shots from Kelsey. But yeah, Kelsey broke her glasses, and nice hat. Hey man,
it's mine.
We're repping. Why is it yours though?
'Cause I stole it.
We're repping them Vols, baby. Y'all saw him get the dub first game in the tourney. Oh yeah, we're showing that 100%. Dang, Shogun going ham. Yo, Sam's not the one, Shogun. Don't mess with him.
Wow.
Jay's got Leon Edwards, Duquesne Wa, Manawa, and Verdum. Thanks. Oh man, CC's loving the glasses.
I know. They'll be back in a week? Yeah.
They'll be back in a week.
I get a new pair in a week.
But you won't be on camera in a week.
You better come back out here then.
Yeah. We'll have Kelsey back on so you guys can do what I do every day and stare at her. Anyway.
Oh my God.
So we'll go on to our next fight. What do we have here? Vote.
Fight.
We have Terrion Ware versus Tom Duquesnoy. And
good job.
I know I nailed that, right?
Hopefully.
Just so you guys know, I've been practicing these pronunciations because I've seen these guys fight, but it's really, really hard when you get these Russian and Dutch and French guys. It's hard to pronounce their names. Anyway, Duquesnoy, if you guys don't remember, fought Cody Stanman. I think the guy's name was Cody Stanman. He just won in our last live stream. Cody Stanman beat him by decision, and Duquesnoy was one of the guys coming out or trying to break onto the scene at 135 in the UFC, and supposed to was kind of going to be this wonderkin, a guy that's great on his feet, lands accurate shots, lands a lot of shots, but again, didn't get it done, and because of that, didn't get that push that he wanted. Stanman actually just won his last fight as well by split decision. So Duquesnoy has kind of fallen down a little bit in that 135 rank, and he's going to take on Terrion Ware, who, if you guys don't remember, was Sugar Sean O'Malley's debut fight in the UFC. And again, is a tough guy. It's going to be hard to get that guy out of there. Fire Kid by first round, okay. Shogun, I do have Duquesnoy in this fight, and I'll go ahead and throw it up. I think his technique, I love his striking. But I don't know if I'll give him the knockout. I think he needs that to kind of bolster his name back at 135 because there was so much hype surrounding him, especially out of France. Maybe not to the U.S. viewers, but I remember hearing about this kid, especially when he came in to fight Stanman, who was considered, another kid that was kind of up and rising. And both of those guys were fighting for that next spot to be, one of the guys maybe potentially to break into the top 15 at 135. Stanman obviously got the W. That's right. Tristan said I went 3-0, not a 3-2 nonsense.
Whatever.
But we're going 5-4-0 this card.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, but Duquesnoy really needs this fight to bolster his name back, and if he could get it by KO with his striking technique, but with Terrion Ware being around for as long as he has, being a UFC vet, being an MMA vet, and it's just tough to get him out of there. Especially, Sugar Sean O'Malley couldn't do it. I don't think he's been finished, so I think Terrion Ware will be a tough customer. But I see Duquesnoy doing it with strikes, controlling pace, just being more technical throughout the fight, kind of like you saw with Sugar Sean O'Malley, and then taking over in the third and winning by decision. So I'll go Edwards by decision, Duquesnoy by decision. Those are my first two picks. Outstanding analysis and pronunciation of names.
Nice job.
Why do you think that Terrion Ware will win?
Don't do this.
Why?
Why do you do this to me?
I'm trying
to
to
put me on the spot, and it's just not cool. All right, let me tell you why he'll win.
As she reads off of my stat line on the computer.
All right. He's got what is that? Is that a 2-inch reach? I can't read that.
Oh, my Lord. All right, we're moving on.
All right.
To our next fight.
I meant 2-inch more reach, but
we don't talk about inches. This is the family show.
Oh, my.
Who is CM Punk fighting in Chicago? So they haven't announced yet, but it's supposed to be what is the cat's name? Mike Jackson? Not Mike Jackson. It's something Jackson. It's another guy that's 0-1 in the UFC, and they're gonna give CM Punk another shot. It looks like at UFC 225 in Chicago. He kind of leaked it on his Instagram and on his Twitter, but it looks like it's gonna happen, and we'll see. We'll see. If he's improved at all. I don't expect him to really show any improvement. I feel bad for the guy just because it's a guy that wants to chase his dream, and no one should ever turn a blind eye at it, but maybe he probably should have started outside of the UFC instead of starting his career in the best promotion in the world. But they're going to give him another 0-1 fighter in the UFC, a guy that has been actually practicing MMA for a long time. I don't expect it to be a competitive fight. We'll see. But I'm happy that he gets to chase his dream. I'm just sad that it's probably not going to work out for him.
Ouch. Jeez.
I'm just saying.
That's mean.
I'm just saying. Well, the guy, so if you don't know, CM Punk was a pro wrestler, like a WWE pro wrestler that doesn't have really any athletic experience, no sports background,
Okay.
just WWE wrestling. Well, he quits that and decides he wants to be an MMA fighter, trains for a couple of years at Duke Rufus's camp in Milwaukee, but he got hurt a couple times and he couldn't really get on his feet. Supposedly wrestling John Jones. But he finally got a fight with Mickey Gall, who was this young up-and-coming guy at 170, and everyone was kind of enamored with the fact that he was going to try MMA, and a lot of people bought it, but the consensus was he was going to get destroyed, and he did. In a minute and 14 seconds, he got tapped. He got rear naked choke and tapped. It's just it's silly to think that he's going to come in and beat a lot of guys, but you can't ever say never. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. They are going to put him on the card though, so we will see. CG says he's supposedly wrestling John Jones. I hope that's not serious. Yikes. I will say if CM Punk shows up, and wrestling fans will know what this is, if he shows up at All In with Cody and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, I would pop louder for that than watching him in a UFC fight.
Jesus.
That would be something that I actually want to see. I don't want to see him fight in the UFC right now. But anyway, we will talk about UFC 225 in just a second. But we're going to go to our next fight, Jimmy Manuwa versus Han Blachowicz. Or
Jan.
No, well, he's
Jan.
It's not, his name's not Jan.
Jan.
It's Han. Han Blachowicz. Let's take a look at Blachowicz, because I was interested in one of his wins, especially recently, that I'd seen. This guy's been around for a long, long time. And actually, it was one of his wins, not recently, a little bit ago. This guy's, I don't want to call anyone a journeyman fighter, but this guy's been around for a long, long time. Has some pretty big wins, has some big losses as well. Already lost to Jimmy Manuwa before in a decision fight. But this is the rematch. Before that fight, he had come off a win against Ilir Latifi, who we just saw at UFC Orlando get a big win over Ovince St. Peru. So he has some big name. I mean, he beat Houston Alexander, who was supposedly, one of the next guys at that division for a while there. Lost in a decision against Alexander Gustafsson. He's been around. He's fought some big names. Lost to Corey Anderson, who I thought was beating OSP for a little bit in their fight before the head kick knockout. But he's been around. He's a fighter that's a veteran, been around for a long time. Fought pretty much everyone. But the power that Jimmy Manuwa possesses, especially with him taking so much time off and him being well rested and healthy, I do not see Blachowicz winning this fight. I think Jimmy Manuwa ends it, and I think he ends it in pretty early fashion. Shogun says upset Blachowicz by KO in the third. If it gets to the third, that would be his best shot to win the fight. You could see him absolutely, catching a tired Jimmy Manuwa, because we have seen Manuwa gas before. Just by the way he throws, his sheer power, you can't sustain that for that long without some extreme cardio, especially at heavyweight. Light heavyweight. Those are big guys moving around. So I just think that Jimmy Manuwa, with his one-punch KO power, I mean, it's legit one-punch KO power. I think he walks forward on Blachowicz, and I don't think the same thing happens that happened with the Ozdemir fight, where he gets caught walking forward. I think he walks forward with pace, with caution, with pace and caution, and I think he gets the job done first round. That's the thing with Manuwa. That's a good point, Shogun. When Manuwa does get hit, he gets clipped. That he does get a little chinny, but that was against one of probably the hardest hitters in his division beside himself, with Ozdemir. So it will react. It will depend on how. Said Kelsey got skinny. Kelsey's got. Hey, don't make me show you the cakes. All right, Kelsey, don't turn out and look. You upset her now. Chat, do not upset my girl. CC, don't get hit with that ban calling Kelsey skinny. She got them cakes, bro.
It's just because I got pale.
Yeah, the lighting's killing us right now. That super pale lighting. But yeah, sorry. We're just playing, man. No worries. But yeah, I think Jimmy Manuwa gets the job done first round. KO. I mean, I don't see Blachowicz staying in there just because of how powerful Jimmy Manuwa is. Jay says, Floyd Mayweather, my wrestling's a 7 out of 10. So, yeah, I heard about that a little bit this week. If you guys didn't hear, Floyd is still fanning the flames that he's going to be fighting in MMA. Says that his wrestling game's a 7 out of 10, and his kicking game is a 4 out of 10. And out of 10, his boxing game is, guess what it would be?
Out of 10?
Out of 10.
10.
It's 100, apparently, out of 10. So, not only is Floyd Mayweather a solid wrestler, but a mathematician as well. That guy is absolutely out of his mind. If Floyd Mayweather thinks that his wrestling game is a 7 out of 10 at this point in his life, he is working. If this is actually true, and if this is something that's going to happen, he's working with the right guy in Tyron Woodley. But how is it going to happen? I listened to Chael Sonnen talk about, one, I think it's BS. But if it's going to happen, Floyd lives in Las Vegas. Tyron lives in Missouri. And Tyron's got camp. He's going to have a fight in July. So when is he going to find the time to train Floyd Mayweather in wrestling and jiu-jitsu and learning to take kicks, leg kicks, anything? When is he going to learn? When is he going to have time to do that? So I don't see how that happens. Floyd's blowing smoke, I think, and I think it's another publicity stunt because Floyd has to make a lot of money to keep himself relevant, and he's got to find a way to pay for that girl collection strip club he owns. Let's just be honest. That's what it is.
Does he really own that?
Yeah, he has to be able to pay for that strip club.
So
and
bad.
The Conor money's going to run out as much as he spends on his expenses for that club and various things in his life. So keep his name relevant. It is what it is. At the UFC gym, that's where they'll train. I don't know. I don't see Tyron flying back and forth to train Floyd Mayweather when he's got a fight coming up probably in July, as well as the fact that he's got to do the UFC tonight. He's doing the TMZ show in LA. He's doing a lot of things. I don't know where he's going to find the time to train Floyd Mayweather every day. So, yeah, I think he gets snapped in the leg. I think he gets a double leg takedown, a single leg. I mean, you go back to it, and this is not – I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, but think about James Toney, right? Think about how quick – and this is an older James Toney, but we're talking about an older Floyd Mayweather right now. Think of how quickly Randy Couture took down with a single leg, almost an ankle pick that he shot from so far on James Toney. Excuse me.
What?
What is happening?
My foot was falling asleep. My bad.
She's falling asleep as well as her foot. Anyway,
No.
think about how quickly Randy Couture dispatched and remember, James Toney, quick guy, had power in his hands, could move around, kept good distance. But again, straight up boxer, not a wide stance, reached easily. It's not going to happen. Yeah, literally he caught him by one toe, threw him down, ended the fight, ground and pound. And I'm not saying James Toney is the same fighter as Floyd Mayweather. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying he was a boxing legend, tried to come over, got his ass whipped. And it's because you can't transition to those different techniques over amount of 6 to 8 months. It just can't happen, especially at age 40. So I think it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and I don't think it's anything serious. But Floyd will be Floyd, and he'll keep doing this until eventually he makes his decision to bow out, or something won't allow him to do so. He'll find a way to spin it to make himself, to keep his reputation. But I don't think he wants to lose that 0 in his record. And if he comes over to MMA, he will have a 1 in the wrong column.
Would that lose his record, even though it's a different
sport?
sport?
Well, it wouldn't be. He would be 50-0 in boxing, but he would be 1-0 in MMA, or 0-1, excuse me. And it would still have. I think he's a really, really big fan of himself, right? I think Floyd is his biggest fan, and for him to take that pride of losing a fight at all, regardless of where it is, to lose a fight, I think would hurt his pride and obviously would soil his reputation. So I think where he is now is the best place he can be. He dropped Silva, though, yeah. Very true. But again, I don't think anything that's happened. Gerald says, any word on McGregor?
God.
From what I've seen, I know Conor counter someone. What I've seen, there's not much going on with Conor right now. Conor has said, look, I'm here. The UFC has to come to me and make an offer because I'm here and I want to fight. Again, how much of that is true, I don't know. It could be the same, to a lesser degree, it could be the same thing Floyd Mayweather's trying to do.
Keep their name popular?
Keep his name out there, keep his name relevant, and, keep the UFC interested to make them say, look, if Conor's still there and we need a Conor McGregor, we need someone to sell a million, 2 million pay-per-views, if we're in dire straits, we need this guy. We have to pay him what he's worth. And he knows, just like the UFC knows, that he's the money fight. He's the cash cow in that promotion right now. So for him just to stay around, especially in these next couple months and watch what happens, and hopefully it happens with Tony and Khabib, for him to stay around and just kind of keep himself relevant, keep his name out there so people know, well, the winner of this Tony and Khabib fight, well, Conor's there. Or the Nate fight, the third one, that's there. Whatever it is, he's trying to keep his name there and make sure that he's part of the discussion when it comes to talking about the UFC. And he always will be until the day he either says he is retired or no one cares anymore. And it's getting to, as you can see in my chat, people are starting to get tired. Jay's tired of Conor now. And it's one of those things where it's very time sensitive. There's a fine line between, betting on yourself and getting paid what you're worth and losing your entire, flash in the pan. I won't say flash in the pan, but losing your entire momentum. That Conor has built up over these last 4 or 5 years. Because you do have young talent coming up. You do have a Darren Till coming up who people are starting to gain interest in. And they give him a fight in Liverpool, in his hometown. You do have guys like, and I always go back to this now, it's probably not a best example right now, but you have Kamaru Usman, you have TJ Dillashaw, you have Cody Garbrandt, you have guys across every division, Max Holloway, Brian Ortega, that are coming up and people are starting to get interested in. And they might not all hold the singularly hold the same power Conor McGregor has, but as a collective in the business practice that you want, those guys can make up for that lost ground over time. I'm not saying right now, but over time. So I don't think that Conor's going to be fighting anytime soon. There's not been anything out on him recently.
I want to see him fight so bad.
I know, I do too. I'm a big Conor fan, but as long as he has $100 million in the bank, you got to entice the guy. And, it's a catch-22 because the UFC has to either go get him or say, no, we don't need you anymore, and eat the losses for now to hopefully have higher yield later. Tony was kicking steel pipes at training. Jesus Christ. Tony is focused.
That's crazy.
Tony is focused, and I think they talked to Chael Sonnen. Someone had interviewed Chael, or Chael was just talking on his podcast, which I have found, by the way. Thank you, guys. I never knew Chael had a podcast before you guys introduced it to me. Was talking about how he used to train with Tony. Now, granted, they never trained together. They had the lighter guys, and he said this is all his stuff, and I'm paraphrasing, but they had the lighter guys in one room and the heavier guys in the next. But he said he used to watch Tony Ferguson go rounds against fresh bodies, 4, 5, 6 rounds, and tire guys out. He will be around for the entire fight and not, yes, he will be tired, but he won't show it, right? He'll be able to have the mental fortitude to have a second win when everybody else is tired. They were bringing fresh bodies in and having him go rounds sparring or rounds jiu-jitsu, rounds wrestling with these guys in 5, 6 rounds, and he was still fresh enough to go hit the heavy bag to finish up his training for that day. And Chael said he saw him do this almost day in, day out in the training room. So this guy is definitely ready to go. And, Tony's a 5-round guy. We haven't seen Khabib go the 5. And I know I always say this on this podcast, but we need to see Khabib go the 5 to make sure that he can control pace on Tony for 5 rounds. And we've seen Tony do that. We've seen Tony outlast some of these guys that are quick and explosive and walk you down and just slowly but surely, methodically take over the fight. He might not be the most technical striker. He might not be the most technical off his back. He has some weird movements. He has some things that he's almost created. And he obviously trains out of 10th Planet, got his black belt, so he is high level, but it's not always conventional. But as the fight goes on, he doesn't have to be. He just has to be there to capitalize. So I'm excited for that fight. Regardless of what happens with Conor, I'm excited to watch Tony and Khabib. Let's just please have it this time. That's all I want is just please, God, let's just get on the scale, weigh in the right way.
Why didn't they have it last time?
No one can make – well, Khabib's been hurt before. They think this is the 4th time they scheduled it. Khabib's been hurt. Then he missed weight. Then they just couldn't reschedule it.
Was he underweight or over?
Over. Oh. Khabib's missed weight a couple of times in his career. And then so finally everybody's healthy at this point to my knowledge. And we just need to please have this fight. But yeah, Khabib obviously is a monster. Please just make weight. His coach says he's good at 5 in sparring. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just excited for this fight, man. Regardless of what happens, let's just get it done. Because 155 isn't just Tony and Khabib anymore, and it's not just Tony, Conor, Khabib. I mean, Nate's there. You have some killers. My man that I keep talking about and I always forget his name, James Vick, is there. I think Conor's old boy Joe Duffy's there. Like 155 is a killer division, man. And I know we got a little off topic. We'll pick the main event, and then we'll talk some UFC 224. We'll talk 225. We'll talk to Kelsey for a little bit, let you guys bomb her with some questions, and then we'll get out of here.
No.
Well, not questions about this, but questions about just like me and you and stuff.
Okay.
Because I know you haven't really said much.
Don't know any of this stuff, so.
Well, no, I'm just saying I don't want you to feel like you don't have time to talk. This is Kelsey's podcast too, y'all.
No.
Anyway, we have our main event of the evening, Fabricio Verdum and Alexander Volkov.
Who's your guy?
Verdum riding a winning streak. Volkov actually on a little bit of a tear of his own. These two guys, now people sleep on Volkov a lot, but a five fight winning streak. Obviously, Fabricio Verdum looking at the next title shot at heavyweight with a win. But this would be a huge, huge victory for Volkov, who has wins over Roy Nelson, has a knockout win over Alexander Gustafsson, Stefan Struve. I mean, he has some big wins on his resume, and this would be the biggest of all of those. He's on a hot streak. He's finishing fights in different ways in every fight. You know, he has some decision wins, he has some submission wins, he has some KOs in his repertoire. But he's going against a different animal in Fabricio Verdum. This guy, you hear anybody talk about Fabricio Verdum, and when you look at the guy, he looks like just a big, massive guy, right? He doesn't look like your average. I won't say average. He doesn't look like a top heavyweight fighter, or what one would look like. He doesn't look like a Francis Ngannou, or he doesn't have the explosiveness of maybe a Cain Velasquez or a Junior Dos Santos. But this guy is nasty on the feet. Is a world-class striker off of his back, on the ground, any sort of grappling on the ground. You can't hang with this guy. Any heavyweight that's retired, you talk to Brendan Schaub, you talk to Tim Sylvia, you talk to Ryan Bader, who's fought or at least sparred with Fabricio Verdum. These guys cannot, and these are wrestlers as well. They can't hang with Fabricio on the ground. He's the level at heavyweight on with grappling and his jiu-jitsu game on the ground. And quickly.
Did you see that?
Yeah, we're starting to shake up a little bit. Sorry guys, if the stream's messing up again. Sorry about that.
Oh my gosh.
Gerald, I should have chill out, bro. I should have blocked that one. Hey. Anyway. But yeah, so geez, way to throw off the freaking mindset.
Why'd
there,
you get
Gerald.
all excited and
Just
nervous?
letting you know.
Oh my god.
Anyway, right? I know, CC. Geez. But yeah, Fabricio is one of the most dangerous matchups at heavyweight. A nightmare off of his back. And for that reason, and for the specific reason that he is so close to that title shot, and I think he really wants to get back to Stipe. I mean, obviously everyone wants a shot at that title, but I think he's got a vendetta. He's got a debt to pay against Stipe for, rushing forward and getting KO'd flat. I know he wants that rematch. Hopefully, with the Cormier situation, he gets to that point. But I do think he gets the W. Nah, we know, Gerald. We're just playing with you, brother. I do think he gets I just hit stop stream.
Did you really?
I think so. No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. It's still going.
Anyway, we get the W for Fabricio. Sorry, guys. Our stream is whack right now. I think he gets the W, and I think he does it by submission. And we're going to say in the late third because Fabricio can go all day long at heavyweight. Conditioning is not an issue. His cardio is A1. Off of his back, he's great. He's learning not to come forward so much so and rush guys. You've seen it before with Mauricio. He comes out with a flying kick against Travis Brown, runs forward on Stipe and gets KO'd. As he's gone forward now, you're seeing a more controlled Fabricio, a guy that you saw it against Marcin Tybura, was tagging Marcin, who was a great stand-up fighter, tagging him the entire fight. Though I gave props to Marcin for staying in that fight all 5 rounds and taking that punishment as a young fighter who didn't give up and didn't get submitted, didn't get stopped in that fight. Huge, moral victory for him. But Fabricio straight up tagged him the entire fight.
You and Jay have the same predictions.
Me and Jay
Yeah.
staying the same. And I like that Shogun put that percentage number out. His takedown defense is great, but this is the thing. Volkov has to go 5, right? And Volkov, again, a tall guy with that high of a takedown percentage is phenomenal, especially when they have to be always, defending takedown. That's why the percentage, I think, is so high because he always has to defend takedowns. Guys will shoot, and again, from him being as tall as he is, guys will shoot, and then once they don't hit the first takedown or the second, then he starts to impose his will and walk forward on them so the shots don't come as much. And from that, I just think that the 75 point, whatever it is, takedown percentage is a early fight percentage. I don't think he's getting taken down later and later in fights because when he stuffs 2 or 3 in the beginning of the fight, then starts to establish his range on guys, it really starts to make a difference. And I think the difference with Fabricio is his gas tank. I won't say it's Cain-like because no one is Cain-like, but he will be around for 5 rounds. And even if Fabricio doesn't take him to the ground, I think Fabricio can stand and swing with Volkov and keep it, on the feet and still do his numbers the way he can do. So I think that Fabricio gets it done. Jimmy Manuwa. So I'll say Fabricio by late third submission if by chance he does get a hold of Volkov, drags him to the ground, and shows off that superior grappling. Tristan's in the building, says, I'm picking Edwards, Duquesnoy, Manuwa, and Volkov with the upset. I like it, Tristan. Does have the 3-inch reach. I just don't think it's going to be enough. Guys, I haven't seen Volkov use the reach as well as he probably should have. Maybe not to the point of a Stefan Struve where he just doesn't use his reach at all. But I think Volkov will, I think Verdum will find a way to avoid the reach, to land his shots, and have Volkov a little bit on the ropes as far as having him to make him come forward and land his shots, because Fabricio has learned to be more calm, more patient in his striking game. And when the opportunity does present itself, he will take the back, or he will grab onto a leg or an arm and submit you pretty quickly. That's what I'm going with for UFC Fight Night London. You guys are letting me know in the chat, which I love. Thank you so much. I love to see your guys' picks as well. I think we're pretty much...
We're all the same except Tristan, USA, is on my side.
Oh, he's always on your side. Always.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a great card. This is probably one of the most competitive cards. Maybe not the most name-worthy card, and the card that I personally am really excited to see because, again, there are young fighters, guys from London, local talent that are going to be on this card. How tall is Volkov? I want to say a solid 6'7", 6'8". So not quite as tall as Stefan Struve, but still one of the taller guys at heavyweight. But this is going to be a great card for London. We're going to talk about in a second how Liverpool is going to have their card coming up. It's a really great card for the UK scene coming up this next couple months. So I'm excited for it. It's going to be a great...
Oh, no.
Sorry, guys. Still looking at the stream here. Yeah, it might shut down. Again, we apologize for the stream issues, guys. We're trying to get through it. But I'm excited for this card. We'll see what happens with it. Moving forward, Bisping has not been announced on the Liverpool card yet. Yeah, I know, CC. Sorry about that. Unless, Jay, you got some info that I don't. I haven't seen anything from Bisping announcing that he's going to be on the Liverpool card yet. I know he was in the Q&A today. He said he still has one fight possibly left in his career, and he would like to be on the Liverpool card. I don't know who they'd set him up against. I would think, the Rockhold fight makes sense. Yeah, that's what I thought. It was a little bit rumored. He answered it at the press conference today. If you guys will go and watch the UFC Q&A, he talked about it. Paige looked good. Paige Van Zant was there as well. Machida would be a nice fight for him. Now, Machida does have a fight against Vitor. And if they did want to stick Michael on the Liverpool card, that wouldn't be an option for Lyoto. But there's a couple of fights at 85 for him. It just depends on matchup. And for him, it just depends on a guy that's at that same veteran status, that veteran level, because you're not going to fight an up-and-comer and either ruin his journey to the top or get knocked out again like Kelvin Gastelum did to him. So we'll see. Vitor getting popped again? I wouldn't doubt it, man. I wouldn't doubt it. If Vitor's on his way out, why not just get jacked up to the gills and try to get through somehow on your last fight? Why not? But yeah, I think I'm with CC. He wants a fighter that's on that level and a fighter that he will be okay, I guess, with as a veteran, pulling in that same type of respect that he's always earned over his career. So we'll see. We'll see.
Poor thing keeps lagging.
Yeah. Sorry about the stream, guys. We're going to keep it going. But yeah, let's talk about what I have in the title here. So finally, guys, Darren Till has a fight. Kinda. So
Don't look at me.
So what we learned today, and I guess a little bit earlier, so yesterday for some of you guys, Darren Till is going to be fighting on the UFC Fight Night Liverpool, which was supposed to be scheduled in Dublin. Fight Night 130. They moved it to Liverpool, and they're going to put Darren Till in the main event of the evening. That's a huge, and when I say it's a huge card, I don't mean it's a huge card as far as the numbers it's going to bring in. It will bring in some numbers from him that we haven't seen from a lot of up-and-coming fighters just because of the lore that's been built around Darren Till for the last 3 or 4 months, right? It's going to be a huge card for MMA, and this is why. The UFC is going Shogun. We don't know. That's another thing. Darren Till's fighting against the dreaded to be determined. We don't know who it is yet. And Darren Till was, again, at this Q&A, so you guys go check that out that the UFC did for UFC Fight Night London. You could tell the guy is just giddy, ready to fight someone. And obviously it's a big honor for him for it to be in Liverpool. But they didn't name a guy. They don't know who it is yet. And he threw out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, which I would lose my mind if that was the case. But we don't have confirmation yet. Bruce, what's going on? But yeah, he doesn't really call out anyone. He said a lot of names. He said RDA. He said he would fight really anyone. He said Wonderboy. He said Kamaru Usman, Santiago Ponzinibbio. He said all these names, but he hasn't really said one name because I think that the UFC's trying with all these guys, and no one wants to take that fight. And, you know, for obvious reasons, RDA is waiting on Tyron Woodley. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson doesn't want to give up that number 3 ranking. I don't really understand the beef from Usman and Santiago Ponzinibbio. I think that would be a great fight for either guy. But I think in any case, CC said drop a deuce. In any case, I think Darren Till is a favorable matchup for him, it's a favorable matchup for anyone at 170. For everybody else, he's a nightmare. But he was talking about it, and this is a big thing, and I wanted to talk about this just a little bit. It's a big thing for MMA. The UFC, for a long, long period. Are you still awake? Are you okay?
I'm good. Okay. I'm good.
Sorry, guys. I'm making this just a Wade concept podcast. No Kelsey.
Sit over there?
No.
Go sit over there.
We're gonna talk a little bit about us, but this is a big thing because for the longest time, the UFC promoted guys by putting them in their city, in their market, and raising up that market, then taking them from, you know, that obviously you want the guy to win. Hopefully he does. And if he does in his hometown, you take that and you bolster him across the nation or across, you know, especially with social media the way we have it now, you can put him anywhere. But the way you build a star is, and they did this with Conor, they did it with Tito, they did it with Chuck, they did it with Matt Hughes for all these years until recently. I don't know what's been going on, but finally we're getting back to what the UFC was a fight promotion of guys in their hometown, build them up with their people, and then take that momentum that they gain from their win and spread it across the entire world. They did it with Conor when he fought, I think it was Diego Brandao in Ireland. And it's the same thing they're going to try to do with Darren, is once you build him up organically through the people that already know him, sell out that arena, people will grab onto that guy just because he's a young guy. He comes forward. He's aggressive, big puncher, talks brash, but still has that same honest respect that you like to see out of every fighter, right? So I think it's a big deal. What's up?
I'm just reading their things. It's funny.
Oh, geez. I think it's a big deal for Darren Till. Man, y'all don't even care about fights. Just Kelsey. Kelsey comes into the podcast and we talk about Kelsey playing the guitar in the background in a bikini. Tristan trying to stick up for us. Kelsey can actually play guitar.
Yes, I can. Just a little.
A little bit?
Yeah.
We won't do a demo right now because I don't want to put her on the spot.
No, don't.
But she can actually play a little bit. That's actually her guitar. But yeah, I think it's a big deal for MMA. I think if he wins this fight, whoever he gets, win or lose, he's going to be a star. But I think it's a huge deal for the UK scene and for MMA in Liverpool. I think it's a huge deal. CC, I love fights. But let's talk really quickly about UFC 224. We got some actually really quick. I think they added some other fights to that Liverpool card as well. So we have Tom Breeze versus Daniel Kelly at 185, and Trevor Smith versus, you guys know him as Ring Boy, Elias Theodoro, Mr. Coiffed Hair.
What the heck?
If you saw him, you would know why. This guy has some of the best hair in the MMA. Bleacher Report just did a write-up on him. He's going to be fighting at Liverpool, so that'll be, pretty much. That'll be Mr. Cocky in some people's minds. That'll be an interesting fight for him.
I'll be right back. Is that okay?
Okay,
I'll be right back. Right back.
Where are you going?
I gotta go downstairs to make sure that we're okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Kelsey's
Be right back.
Kelsey's brothers are a little riled up, but that's okay. You guys they're pretty. They're like 2 and 4 years old. They get riled up pretty quickly, so she's gonna go check on them. But yeah, that's what we're looking at for that. And then we're going to talk about a little bit of UFC 224. Just really quickly looking at the card that's kind of filling out more and more as we go. It's a great card, guys. We got Amanda Nunes versus Raquel Pennington, like you guys talked about. Hopefully we get TRT Vitor. I'm not a big fan. excuse me, I'm not a big fan of obviously I'm not a fan at all of people cheating in any type of sport, especially in a sport where you can cheat and physically harm someone to a severe degree. But who doesn't want to see Vitor TRT'd up? Like, let's be honest. I don't care anymore. I want to see TRT Vitor. I want to see TRT freaking Uberim. Give it to him, Wild Wild West days, and I want to see it. I'm sick of it. Just let the guy juice to the gills and let him go. Jay says he hates Vitor.
Why?
It's probably because of Vitor cheating for years and years and years and years. But not only that, but we have a huge fight, in my opinion, in Jacare Souza and Kelvin Gastelum. Holy sleeper. No one's talking about this fight. And this is a damn good fight. This is talking about the number 2 middleweight in the world versus Kelvin Gastelum, who's sleeping guys left and right. Was one or maybe 1 or 2 punches away from stopping Chris Weidman. Destroys Michael Bisping. Runs through Tim Kennedy. Runs through Vitor. This guy is beating some people at 185 here. Tommy, what's going on, brother? Tommy, sorry for the stream. We're trying, man. Our stream is a little bit wonky today because we're on
crappy Wi-Fi from Kelsey.
We're on Kelsey su Casa Wi-Fi, so we're trying. CC, we're talking about Kelvin Gastelum and Jacare Souza. That's a crazy fight, man. I'm really excited about that. They're talking about your food, by the way.
What were they saying?
They said it was a club sandwich. It's actually not a club sandwich. Actually, what was it called?
I don't know.
It was some sort of churro that we got from a cheesesteak place.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, man, this stream is really getting out of hand.
Yeah.
We will try to wrap it up because our stream is lagging super hard right now, guys. So we'll try. But yeah, that was a good fight. And then we have 225. We have some fights coming up. Obviously, you guys are interested, and I'm interested in the fight right now, and that'd be Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero, the rematch. That's a huge fight. We got Claudia Gadeja versus Carla Esparza, another huge fight. Joseph Benavidez making his return to the octagon versus Sergio Pettis. And then we have, obviously, Alistair Overeem. Wish it would be Uberim versus Curtis Blades, who's an up-and-coming heavyweight. Again, huge fights. And then we get the return of Rashad Evans to 205. Rashad Evans, later in his career deciding not to cut as much weight and go back to light heavyweight versus Anthony Smith. Another, veteran fighter, been around a long time. So that's an amazing card from what I'm seeing. That's a fire card. Yeah, CC. Check out Rashad Evans, man. He's going to be kicking off the main event or the main card at 205. He's coming back. You're getting a great fight card, man. 225 is going to be one of the best. Obviously, 223 is a huge card, and then the International Fight Week card in July is a monster card. But 225 is going to be one of these cards that's very slept on. Yes, we will, Shogun. Thank you. Let me know how that is, guys, for the volume.
What Tristan wrote? He put that on
the yes tactic when someone yelled at me in the car and screams.
That's what I was reading earlier on Instagram.
Oh yeah, 100%. CC, man, I wish I could go with you. 225 is such a slept on card, but it's going to be a phenomenal card. Is the card on the UFC app? Yeah, I think you can go $200. That's not bad. That's a pretty good price for a pay-per-view card, especially of that caliber. I think I paid like $150 to go to a fight night. I got pretty good seats though.
Yeah, you had really good seats.
But yeah, 200's cake for that card, man. What a steal. Jay, yeah, that card will be on the UFC app. I think they've already got it up. I'm looking at it right now, just on the UFC.com. 225. They've only got the main card right now. They haven't filled out the prelim card yet, but the main card is stacked. Especially for UFC 2 or UFC London was 200. Okay, but that card's stacked as far as the main card, but it's not, for MMA fans anyway, maybe not have the big name, big pay-per-view recognition, but that's a stacked card. Anyway, that's kind of the week in the news in MMA. I think we heard a couple of different things outside of that. Bellator 198 coming up. Obviously, the heavyweight tournament's still going on. Outside of that, there's pretty much the UK scene in MMA right now that we're talking about, and the 2 pay-per-views coming up. I'm excited for all these fights coming out. I cannot wait, but I know I've let Kelsey kind of sit for a little bit, so let's talk about a little bit about our trip and what's going on with us. Do you guys have any questions for Kelsey? It's been a while since she's been on the show. I know you guys always love it when she
icky
comes
questions.
back. No. How do you watch Bellator, Tristan? It should be on the Paramount Network, which was formerly Spike TV, but if you have a cable subscription, it should have automatically transitioned, so you can see that. Oh, by the way, guys, go watch Tennessee play tomorrow in the NCAA tournament.
Oh God.
What?
No.
We got a big W, and we're fighting. Who we fighting? Jesus. Who we playing? It's Loyola Chicago or something like that. Go watch them. CC is super inappropriate.
What did he say?
In the chat.
What that means.
Anyway, but yeah, what do you guys have anything for Kelsey? She hasn't been on in a while. I know you guys always get excited when she's around. You guys go a little bit wild in the chat, obviously. But what's been new with you? Just school?
School.
Yeah.
Tattoo.
Oh, show them the tattoo.
It hurts a little.
Kelsey got a tattoo today, guys.
Hold on.
Totally forgot about that.
Wow.
I didn't forget that you got the tattoo.
I don't even know if they can see that, but
So she got one right there on her arm.
it hurts.
Hurts a little bit, but she's toughing it out. Yeah, it's tatted to the max. Yeah, right. This one right here.
No. That makes 7 though.
7 tattoos. Wow.
Yeah.
7 to my 0. So she's winning the tattoo war. Does it say bad to the bone? Pretty close. No, it's not tribal. You want to tell them what it is?
No. It's just no, you can tell them actually.
So Kelsey has been thinking about, she's tattoo crazy right now, just addicted.
Not true.
So I have to calm her down every now and then, but finally she broke through. She wanted to get a tattoo. I was like, all right, what do you want? And she got coordinates of, like you would on a map. So if you go to Google Map and you have coordinates like longitude, latitude, northwest, whatever, and it's a number. She got that of a place we'll keep between us, but it's a place that has significance to both of us. So she got that today.
Yep.
She's excited with it. I still am trying to jump on the tattoo train. I don't have any.
It'll never happen. It'll never happen.
You don't know that, though.
No.
But we will see.
I give him like the little, what is it? I'll give you like a little one where you put water on it and then you peel it off.
Like the little, can I get like a Spider-Man one?
Yeah.
Here? Oh, by the way, Tommy says you're cute. Look at that.
Thank you.
By the way, Kelsey and I don't know. Let me guys. I know this is off. I know. Sorry, CC. I need to get one, man. This is off topic, but I do other things besides study. Be balls deep in MMA. I actually like a lot of Marvel movies.
We're gonna go see Black Panther
We're
tonight.
seeing Black Panther tonight. Don't spoil it, chat. I swear to God. Do not spoil it. I will turn off chat right now. But for the last week or so, we've been watching a Marvel movie every night. And so we're on Captain America. No, we're on the first Avengers movie. And we're going to try to watch all the Avengers movies up until Infinity War comes out. And I'm falling back in love with the movies again. CC, I swear to God, don't do it. But yeah, we're gonna basically do that tonight. And I don't know, I'm just a big fan of the movies. I was talking to the guy at the tattoo shop today. He didn't really care.
No.
I was trying to hold conversation with him, but he didn't really like it.
I'm just excited for nachos, to be honest.
Wade looks like John Jones. Jay, I wish I fought like John Jones. We wouldn't be broke right now if I fought like John Jones. You watched the new one on Wednesday? All right, well, like I said, don't spoil it, chat. We're going in literally like an hour from now, so we're going to go watch it.
He does look like John. I got to look now.
I don't look like John Jones.
Is that guy?
You don't know who John Jones is? Why are you covering the mic? That's not. Just say it into the mic.
No, I'm not saying that.
Kelsey asked if John Jones was black.
Is he?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
What does it matter?
Well, you can't look
Racist.
like him.
No, I do. They're not. Why can't I? I look more like Tim Sylvia. Ouch, son. Hold up with that. Hold on. Let me take the hat off. The hat. Okay.
Oh my God! Don't.
The hair is a little bit sketchy today.
It's bad.
But let me see what I look like. Is it bad?
Oh, it's okay. It's not too bad actually.
Fluff it out a little bit. That's not Tim Sylvia. I look a little bit better than Tim Sylvia. No disrespect to Tim Sylvia.
Who's that? What's that person that everyone says you look like for real?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you do. I can't remember. He's famous. Forget it.
Darren Elkins, wow. I look like the damage? I don't know if I'll take that. That's kind of disrespectful, Jay. Wow, put on your hat, he says. The hair doesn't
That's what
always
I
look
say.
this bad, bro.
That's what I say,
It doesn't
CC.
look this bad, honestly. Not all the time. It's just some of the time.
That looks good.
I actually do a pretty good job on my hair.
You do.
Nick Lachey.
Hmm.
How you like that? 98 Degrees?
I don't know who
98
that
Degrees
is.
is about when Kelsey was born, so she's not going to know who that band was.
You're not that much older than me.
Can you guys guess how much older I am than Kelsey?
Yeah, let's see. I think we've told them how old. No? Have we told
I
them
don't think
how old?
so.
Probably not.
I'm gangsta, son.
Shogun says 3 years.
Ooh, 4 years, 20 years, accurate.
Yeah.
No, 3 years. Almost 3 years.
40 years.
Like 2 years and a couple and some change, but yeah, basically 3 years.
Yeah.
Which makes her 12.
Wow.
Pretty much. No. But we've never really had an issue with stuff. Sometimes I'll throw out a reference that's a little bit too old for your.
You just know bigger words than I do, though.
Yeah. Try. Shogun, what do you win?
What do I win?
A chance to play Kelsey and I in Fortnite.
Oh.
Run some squads.
That would be so fun.
Rob that cradle. Maybe run some squads. Kelsey got a new skin the other day. She's proud of herself.
That's cool.
I had to come and do all of her challenges for her.
That's not true.
I'm doing all of her battle pass challenges right now as we speak.
Well, I saved you money. You didn't have to buy it, so.
You know, actually, I'm the idiot that actually bought the full Fortnite game.
How much was that?
It was like $30.
Where did you even buy that? You can't. What do you mean?
But I bought when it was still in beta testing. But I bought the Save the World expansion pack deal like an idiot. It has like 3 V-Bucks. Hey, don't disrespect my V-Bucks, all right? I paid my hard-earned money for
I
my
have like
V-Bucks.
400.
Yeah, because I got
No, I got it. But anyway.
So what else is new with us?
Nothing.
Oh, I think I told you guys this on my last stream, but I might as well tell them now because I'm only going to do one more stream before I head back.
True.
Guys, I'm actually moving back to California.
Wah, wah, wah.
So I'm going to be living in California again, and I'm moving back as soon as I get back home. I'm going to start packing to head back, and I'm going to be moving out there in the start of April. So you guys are going to get to see the W.A.D.E concept from the West Coast. We're probably going to switch up the – sorry about the stream again, guys. We have got to figure out what's going on with the –
earthquakes.
With the lagginess right now.
Yeah.
But we'll just clear all this out. Maybe that'll help. No, stay on the page.
Just be careful you don't.
I know, I almost exited out of it. We are going to – oh, Kelsey, what does W.A.D. do that gets on your nerves?
Oh.
Tommy, I'll get to you 1 second. I'm going to let her answer
There's
that.
a few things. Number one is how he eats chips. I absolutely hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
There's nothing wrong with the way I eat chips.
You put like so much in your mouth and you just – oh, I don't like that at all. I don't like that.
Okay.
Another thing besides that, honestly.
Besides thing.
Thing. I don't know. Just that really irritates me.
I don't really do it. Look, I'm not really – I am close to perfect, so I don't do a lot wrong, right? I mean, that's obvious. So there's no way for me to really
true. Just the chip eating that pisses
upset
me
her
off.
because I'm just –
Double dipper. No, it's not that. It's he chews with his mouth open, and it drives me nuts.
I don't chew with my mouth open.
Or it sounds like it. It sounds like you're chewing in my ear.
I just have an iron chin, and so when I eat,
Crimson
I am a
chin.
machine.
You got the crimson chin.
Timmy Turner references. But that's all it is. That pisses you off?
Yeah, nothing. You don't. Really
You know what
piss
gets me
off.
about Kels?
Don't embarrass me.
We're just gonna go down
right
this
now.
road. No, what?
Okay.
She pokes and pinches. I don't know if you guys have girlfriends, but anytime they feel like they want to play or goof off, and it's the worst time possible, they'll like barely pinch you, or for some reason she always has super cold hands, and she'll just put her hands under my shirt and just find a way to hit me with her sub-zero freezing hands. I can't stand it.
Sorry.
But that's about it. Everything else. Tristan, whoa, the shade. Test the chin, boy. Nope. CC, we're not doing that one. Definitely not doing that one, brother. Dope. Okay, at least we'll get to the second part of the message. We're not talking about that. But, yeah, that's pretty much it as far as what bothers us. Tommy, where do I live right now? I live, God dang, the lag, man.
You're yelling.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I live in Orlando, Florida. If you can even hear this. I don't know if the thing's still streaming or not. But I live in Orlando. But I'm going to be moving back to the West Coast in hopes of landing an internship with Viacom or Fox Television. We talked about this being something that I want to do in the future as an actor career. Yeah, we're lagging super crazy right now.
It's probably because it's over an hour too.
Yeah. We will. How do I get this to stop lagging?
I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff.
Yeah, Shogun. Thanks, man. I appreciate you being in. I know our lag starts getting there after a little bit. Free shampoo before you leave. I love you, Mike. Michael beat me.
Stop. Oh my God.
Had to give you that one. But I'll get out of your guys' hair. Sorry about the stream. But yeah, man, I'm a really big fan of Mike Perry's, Tommy. It was really cool to see him there and watch him fight while I was there. But I'm gonna hopefully go back to California in hopes of landing, like I said, an internship with Viacom, Fox. Like I said, I wanted this podcast to be a launching point to become an MMA journalist, or become an MMA commentator, or someone that can talk about the sport and can be in the trenches with the guys and really tell these stories of guys. And we're not even close to scratching the surface of what this podcast can be and what I want to do with this, with my platform. And, we'll get there. And one day you guys will get there with me. So,
Jay, it's 7:27.
7:27 in America. And so that's the reason I'm moving back, just really quickly. So I'll be on the West Coast. We will go over time and when I'm going to be recording all that stuff when I get back. It'll be a little bit earlier, but you guys should get it around the same time.
Oh, I'll miss it.
No, it should be around the same time, unless you're working.
I'll be at work.
Yeah. But yeah. But that's just a little programming kind of note there. Yeah, Mike Perry broke up with his girl, 100%. Tommy, man, for sure, send it this way. If you get some footage, hit me up on my Twitter. DM me on Twitter, and I'll absolutely take a look at it, man. Absolutely. But, yeah. Y'all are going wild in the chat. But, yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be doing. Look for me when our next podcast, we'll be doing a live stream. But after that, we'll probably be filming from the West Coast. I might do a travel vlog, something like that. But yeah, that's kind of the W.A.D.E Concept podcast. The W.A.D.E Concept podcast is moving to the West Coast, and we're gonna hopefully do some big things with it. I'm excited. But I appreciate that, Tommy. Thanks, man. We'll try to figure out this stream stuff because I want this thing to grow, and we're kind of in a plateau as far as our MMA weeklies. But we got to get our equipment together and get things a little bit more professional so that we can grow it and it could be something that people want to tune into weekly. I know you guys do, and I love you guys, and I appreciate you every week that you do. But I also want to extend that reach further and have more people so we can see you guys. But we'll talk to you guys later. See you soon, Jay. Thank you, Tommy, CC,
Bye, guys.
Tristan,
See ya.
Shogun, Tristan, other Tristan. Thank you all for being in the show today, man. I appreciate you all as always. This is the W.A.D.E Concept with Kelsey.
I'm just copying what you're saying.
And we are debating everything. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
See ya.